is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 14 of the Collector Tour. I'm your host, Evil Sneaker. I am here with a special guest, someone I've been trying to get on the show for a while, trying to coordinate, but really happy to have him on. Marco, aka 16Fix. How are you doing tonight, bro? Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for having me. Really looking
Yeah,
forward
man.
to the conversation. I'm doing well, getting over being sick, as I was mentioning backstage, but really looking forward to this conversation. This type of, one-on-one chat and, talking about displays is totally right up my alley. So love the show and appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks so much for being on. I'm trying something a little bit different today. Usually I wear headphones, but I'm trying to go with the AirPods today. So we'll see. It sounds pretty good on my end right now. Chat, Marco said he has a little bit of a new setup with his audio. So if you guys could let us know if you could hear him okay, that would be great. But you're loud and clear on my end. So with that being said, man, yeah, I'm really excited to have you on. I know I've really chatted with you, I think a couple times on Wolfpack Wednesday. Both times
Yeah.
was really the main times that I chatted with you, and yeah, enjoyed talking to you, and I've been wanting to get you on the show for a while. So yeah, really happy to be able to link up. I know we talked a little
Heck
bit
yeah.
about Thanksgiving. Do you want to tell the people how your Thanksgiving was?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a massive family, both on my mom and dad's side. So we probably had a quarter of my mom's side get together. My uncle's in the hospital. He's 88 years
Oh
old,
no.
was applying sheetrock to the ceiling of my cousin's new place that he just bought, and fell off the scaffolding, broke I think 7 ribs, and so
Oh
was in
my
the
god,
hospital
dude.
during Thanksgiving. He's home now. He's doing a lot better. But everyone was like, hopefully he's learned his lesson about getting on ladders, getting on scaffolding. 88, that's probably a good cutoff to, just hire somebody. It's just sheetrock. It wouldn't be that expensive. So that kind
Yeah,
of threw a
man.
wrench in the Thanksgiving plans, but we had a good
That's
one besides that.
that's good that he's okay being like that old, and yeah, like you said, he's out of the hospital and stuff already.
You never know when
Oh,
you're that
what
age
a
and you take a
what a
tumble like
boss,
that.
man, to be able to
Yeah.
get
Oh
out, yeah,
gosh.
that quick.
My
Yeah, that's
family, my mom's side is pretty indestructible for sure.
yeah. Putting up scaffolding and stuff is good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him doing that stuff. That's
He's
wild.
crazy. I can't even do it at, 36 years old. So
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, I'm like early 30s. I'm like, wow, that's like not something that I want to do right now.
yeah,
Like go put up some scaffolding, but yeah, man,
there's no
dang,
way.
that's wild. But I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving. Otherwise, I had a pretty good Thanksgiving as well. Kind of just me and my family laying low. It was also my son's birthday during the week of Thanksgiving, so today was my first day back at work. A little crazy at work today, but all good. I'm excited for the stream tonight. It's always nice having a stream early on in the week and chatting with somebody. So again, thank you so
Is your
much
Yeah,
for
so is
being
your
on.
son for his birthday, is he old enough to, request like Legos or anything that's kind of a collectible?
Yeah, so right now he's like really into like I don't know if you're familiar with like the Titan Hero series, which are like 12-inch. They're like budget 12-inch figures. Like the
Oh, got
arms
it.
and
No, I
legs
haven't heard
move
of
and
him.
like they're like I think there's like 5 points of articulation. So
Sounds like a
it's nice
gateway
because
figure.
exactly. They're not that expensive. Like they're like $10. They're around $10 each. And you could like he has like all these different figures. Like yeah, just a
These
bunch of
days you
different
can't
Marvel ones,
10
Star
bucks, you
Wars
can't
ones.
get anything. Oh, okay, so they have
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars, they got all
So
the
they have like
properties.
Marvel, Star Wars, DC. They pretty much have everything. So yeah, it's funny. Yeah, he just turned 4. It's funny because I was telling one of my buddies this too, is like he'll tell me what he has in his collection and I don't. So like yeah, the latest is like, oh, I have a Black Panther in my collection and you don't have one. So it's just really
That's
like it's
amazing.
really cute. It's really funny, but he's like, "Yeah, I have a bigger collection than you." And I'm like, "Not quite yet, buddy, but we'll see.
He's getting
We'll
there.
see." Yeah, so
That's
he's like
awesome.
really yeah, he's really into that and he's into just a lot of different stuff. He actually built like today actually he built like his first little Lego set, like this 4-year-old like little spider car with Doc Ock from Spidey and Amazing Friends, which he's
Oh
really
gosh,
into.
you're in
So
trouble. If
yeah,
he's
he's
collecting
really into
figures and
Spider-Man.
Lego.
Yeah, he's like really into Spider-Man right now. Yeah, so he's already like kind of a collector because daddy's a collector, so he's really into it. It's
Definitely.
a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, with him right now. So um yeah, yeah. His birthday party, like I'll say sometimes he watches my stream, so all I'll say wink is Spider-Man showed up in a full-on Spider-Man outfit and he was like pretty happy about that. Very exciting. So hopefully something that he'll remember as he gets older. But
That's incredible.
yeah.
That's really, really cool.
it was awesome. So, anyways, I'll stop talking about my son now because this is about you, man.
Heck no.
um, no, I'm just kidding. But there's a lot of people in here, so I want to get to the chat before we get going here. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button on your way in here. Please consider subscribing to the channel as well. I'm on my way to 500 subs. I think I'm at 400 and some 400 teens or something like that. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And also, Marco's links are down in the description below for his YouTube and his Instagram. So please go do the same for him. Check out his channels. We got some good people in here as always. Cage is in the house. Let's go. Excited for this one. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, bro, for always tuning into the show. Always love you being here. Brick Artemis is in the house. What is up, dude? Going to be a good one. Yes, definitely. Definitely excited for this one. Low Key Collector is in the house. Hype for this right here. Yes, dude. I would love to get you on for an episode as well, Calvin. So, if you'd like to do that, let's chat and hit me up. We'll talk
He's got
about
the
it for sure.
collection to end all
Yeah, man.
collections.
Yeah,
I've seen
his
it in
collection
person.
is
It's
dope.
ridiculous.
I was bummed. Usually, like, I'm on Copper Drop here and there, Joey's stream, and he was on and talking about his collection. I was like, dang, this is one that I'm bummed I'm missing out on. But yeah, I would definitely be interested in chatting with him for sure. Mike, pause, Literus is in the house. Let's go. What is up, Mike? Thank you for being here, bro. Speaking of Collector Joe, he is here as well. Hello, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Christian Cooper, always here in the show. What is up, man? Thank you so much for being here. Let's see here. We got lots of people in here. Collection Obsession. You both sound good. All right, great. Thank
Love
you
to
for
hear
the
it.
feedback, man. Good to see you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Action in the Box is in here. Hi. He was on last week's episode or I guess 2 weeks. I think I did it a couple weeks ago. That was a really great episode. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check that one out. Also, he just posted like his latest Warner Brothers 100 Wonder Woman diorama, like Action in a Box, and it is really cool. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. It's very cool. And a great figure.
I haven't seen that yet, but I love the
Yeah.
way he displays his figures. Like, just some of the coolest displays
Yeah.
for sure.
He did it's got like a war bunker in the background and like dirt. It like looks really realistic, like dirt on the ground. It's very cool from the like original movie. You should definitely go check it out.
I shouldn't go look because it's going to give me ideas, and then I'm going to want to change my direction. But no, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, his stuff is like definitely inspires you to want to go create like a diorama for sure. Eclectic Collector is in the house. Hello, everyone. Hello to you. Thank you for being here, man. Let's see. Marcos is on here. He didn't even know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I'm not sure what he's referencing. Maybe you know.
Yeah. So on my show on Bargain Bin Bros, we were talking about the comic Hot Toys Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking about on the 90s show, Spider-Man was really jacked. And I was like, yeah, even the Peter Parker was really jacked. And Zach was like, well, they're the same persons. It's not what I meant, but he got me there.
Yep. I got you. Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. Everybody's saying what's up to everybody, because I feel like everybody in here is like so familiar with each other at this point. Miami's Nemesis is in the house. What's up everyone? Yeah, no doubt. Great group. What is up, dude? Thanks for being here. Big Breda's in the house. How can you do a collector tour of a non-collector? Sorry, I didn't read this before pulling it up. I'm sorry, Marco. He's just kidding. Marco has way more than he shows us. Yeah, dude, your collection's like, I feel like, no lie, every time I see you on stream, I feel like it looks different in the background.
Yeah. I'm trying a new thing every time.
It's like been constantly evolving, which I think is really cool. And like, absolutely. I love how like, I'm like, oh yeah, can you send me pictures of your collection for the thumbnail? And you sent me like all this different stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. I've tried just about every display type out there so far.
Yeah. It's cool. It's good to do. Good to try that stuff. Aaron Collects is in the house. Yo, what's up, my bros? What is up, dude? Thank you for being here. Tighter FL is in the house. What's up, everyone? What is up, man? I think that is it for now. A lot of people in here. This is probably a new record to start out a stream. Bringing Marco in here. So, yes, love to see it. With that being said, are you ready, man?
Let's do this.
It's not that hype, but it's pretty chill for the most part. It's not that, but trying to get it hyped up.
I like it. I'll bring the energy. Bring the energy. Work it up a bit.
The first question, the same question that I like to ask everybody here to start off the show, the very first one. Can you recall the moment that you knew you were going to be a collector?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact genesis, so the exact moment, but much like, you kind of have this fun rapport with your son and you collect stuff and he does. my dad and I collected starting lineup figures. So I don't know if you recall what these are, but they had baseball, football, basketball, soccer, hockey, and so they were sports figures, smaller than 12-inch, but kind of around that range. And so he and I would collect them. We would go to Target, we'd go to Toys R Us at the time, and go try to find the exclusive ones. And so that was really, I was kind of indoctrinated at a really young age. I would say I
Yeah, that's
was
very cool.
probably maybe like 6 when that started. It might have even been younger, to where he and I were going out and trying to collect the entire line. So I remember looking on the back of the packaging and seeing, okay, we've got all these figures from this line, and we got to try to collect all of them. So yeah, I think I didn't really have a choice in the matter. Same with my sports affiliation. My dad's a Raiders fan, and I kind of take after him in
Oh
that
yeah.
respect. So whether being a Raiders fan or a collector is a good lifestyle choice or not, who's to say? But yeah, that's definitely something that I got into early. And then it kind of evolved. I think I really, really started collecting stuff myself was Ninja Turtles and the 90s X-Men and
Yes.
Spider-Man and Batman. Went like crazy into those action figure lines, and really, I think since then was always, even though there was a period there where I stopped when I was a teenager into my college years, was always kind of keeping an eye on the collecting stuff and kind of reminiscing about those days when I used to collect action figures.
When did you get into like six scale?
Yeah, so I'm one of those pandemic collectors. So it all
Okay.
kind of evolved really quickly, and I think we'll get into the reasons why I collect and everything in a bit later. But for me, it was going to be like one display item. I had always known about I had known about Hot Toys for maybe 10 years. At that point, had seen some of the Dark Knight figures that had been released, but I didn't have space or the money to kind of collect them. And so, like when the pandemic hit, I spoke with my wife Gigi, and I was like, you know what, they make this Thanos, and it'd be really like a cool piece that we could put up in our theater room. It's expensive. It's over $400, but I think it'd be a really nice thing to add. And she was just like, we had gotten the stimulus checks, so this is a kind of a common story with a lot of folks.
Yep.
And so yeah, talked her into getting one, and then the rest is kind of history, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. It's like, oh yeah, the Thanos is gonna be a centerpiece, and then you just end up getting a bunch.
If
Um
she could go back in time, hop in that DeLorean, she would say no to me for sure. So
yeah, that's very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, pandemic collector. There's like a few other people, for sure. Um, I got in
I
like
think that
later than that. I've only been collecting like a little over a year now, which is a whole different, like coming in the time I did is even a whole different time. I feel like as far as
absolutely.
the market goes and stuff like that. Were you gonna add something else?
No, I was just gonna say, I think that the hobby kind of spiked, like a lot of collecting, right? Like cards, and a lot of folks just really rushed into these hobbies because we were at home
Yeah.
with nothing to do, and with a little extra money in our pockets. And so yeah, I saw the community kind of grow in a huge way at the time. And yeah, I haven't tapped out yet. I'm still here. So
Yeah. Yeah. Card collecting was another thing that blew up. Like I had I remember I sold a couple like Pokemon cards for a lot of money that were
oh,
just
there you go.
randomly like I had some doubles of some Pokemon cards that I had, and I like yeah, I was shocked at how much some of these like Pokemon cards were going for, and sports cards really blew up. Like it was just a really interesting time.
Are these
For
cards that
sure.
you had from when you were a kid, or this is stuff that you were collecting as a
Yeah, I still have a lot of
wow?
them. Like I have the original like are you like are you into Pokemon at all, or were you ever?
I was when I was a kid. There's a
Yeah.
binder somewhere with a bunch of cards. Who
Yeah.
knows what my parents did with
So I
them?
still have like I still have like a bunch of holographic cards from like the base set original Pokemon.
Oh gosh,
Like I still have my original like Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, like original evolution uh cards and stuff like that that I want to get framed at some point.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I still have like a lot of my I don't think I'll give those up ever. I'll
There
keep
you
those
go.
and do some type of
Too much
display with them.
sentimental value.
Yeah, those are like yeah, that's those would be tough. It'd have to be a good chunk of money to give all those up. But yeah, yeah, Pokemon for sure. There's a couple more people in here. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
No, no, no. Just laughing at what D'Lo was commenting there. So
Oh yeah, D'Lo's in the house. We'll get to his comment here in a second. I want to go back up because I missed Daniel Brancato is in the house. Hello, man. I think I missed your comment, and then I saw you comment again. But what is up, man? Thank you for always tuning in as well. Primetime Reviews is in the house. What's up, guys? What is up? Daniel has a question. How many Jokers is too much?
the correct answer is there's no amount of jokers that's too many. All the jokers is the right answer.
This is funny because I remember like I was watching like the She Said No, like your show, one of the episodes I was watching, and it came up like this was when Artisan Joker dropped, and you were like, well, like you
Oh
were talking
gosh.
about in art, and then it's like, oh, should like is Artisan something that like you could get? And it was pretty much like the answer is no.
She just shut it down right away. You know what?
It's like you
We snuck it into
wait.
the collection.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah,
yep.
but
So, yeah, so you did pre-order. You got pre-order Artisan as well.
yeah, I do have the Artisan Joker. So I ended up with three in art Jokers, right? I got the Artisan 2-pack and a single sculpted, just because I love that character. That's probably my
Yeah.
favorite villain of all
Dang, you
time.
went
So
all in. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yep.
I know the Hot Toys one is coming out. I saw Gigi in the comments. Am I going to get it? For now, I'll say I'll defer that answer to later.
Yeah, that's funny, man. TK Magic Shop's in the house. Nice. It's gonna be a good one. COVID collector alert. Baby boy 562 is in the house. Excited to be here to hear Marco's story. Yeah, no doubt. Oh, here's D'Lo. Hashtag fake collector.
There we go.
Jose is in the house. Hey everyone, Marco. What's with that electro pose? Well, chat's asking some crazy questions tonight.
Yeah. So Electro, I didn't give much thought to over here. I definitely need to repose him, but I want to have him elevated. But I kind of just put some effects on him, threw him on the shelf. So that one
Yep.
needs a lot of work.
Yep.
And I hear this one as well. The Punisher War Machine. Everyone was saying lewd things about him. So you know what? Just give me a break. Give me a break on my
Just give him a
poses. It's
break.
a work in progress.
Give him yeah. Let this man work on his posing slowly but surely. It's fine.
There we go. Let me cook.
Yep. Oh, Gigi's doing. Ooh, money.
There
Gigi,
we go.
thank you for tuning in to the
Yikes.
stream. Yeah, she's like, you guys crack me up, man. When you guys are on streams together, usually like I try to turn it on if I'm working or something, or I can't, and I usually can't say anything in the chat, but I'm sometimes I try to lurk on a lot of streams. Usually, like I just can't say anything because I'm doing something, but
You're preoccupied.
yeah, yep. So sometimes when I'm at work, I try to get on shows and stuff like that if I can, or if I'm busy doing other stuff. But yeah, your guys' content cracks me up for sure. Big Brita says, Gigi, is it true that Marco is getting the $2,500? Did you pre-order this?
No, I didn't. That one is definitely not for me.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I don't think I'd ever spend $2,500 on one piece.
Yeah.
You know, never say never, but I don't think that particular one is iconic enough for me to pull the trigger. So no,
Yeah,
Brett is giving me a hard time.
Yeah, it would have to be something crazy for me to do that as well.
If it was like a TIE fighter at that price, maybe. Maybe.
If you did get one, what one would you go for, do you think? Like
you're talking about any
like Anakin or Obi-Wan the Starfighter.
Yeah, probably Anakin, because I'm getting that Artisan Anakin, which I think would be a cool companion piece with it.
That's a really good
point.
But
yeah, I think probably that one, but definitely not for me.
Yeah, me neither. D'Lo says sneaker came in during the Great Depression. Man, I came in during the Great Depression and then took advantage during that time. Yes, that's funny.
Truly a great time to come in, honestly. You could get things that you could get so much more bang for your buck.
Yep, 100%. Oh, these comments are cracking me up. Joey, all jokers, I knew I liked you, Marco.
There we go, my man.
Better be careful, Marco wants a J&D Joker. Yeah, that's probably going to be like the next one to be shown, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that one definitely won't be for me as well. I think a silicone face probably won't be a selling point for me, but let's see what the pictures look like.
Yep. Miami's Nemesis says, I have 7 jokers.
My man, there we go.
Dang, that's a lot
or my person.
Gigi says, I don't know what it is, but the answer is no. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I feel like these are relevant comments because you guys are both so involved in the content, right?
There we go.
Yeah, so it's funny. TK Magic Shop has a good question. Which Joker is the best for someone who's looking to buy their first? What one would you say?
Yeah, well, I will just really quickly say I have seen a few rooted 2-pack Jokers that are still out there. And if you're willing to spend, the $1,100, that one could be, I think that's like so if you're looking for the top of the line, I think still go and chase that one, but don't overpay for it. But I kind of like Hot Toys offering of the sculpted, right? I think it's like $350. It's got a cool base. It's got a pretty nice little head sculpt from what I'm seeing. So I think that one could be a good starter one, and you've got some time to pay it off as well. So I'd say either of those two, either go for the the full shebang or go for the cheaper option that'll be rolling out here soon.
Yeah, I saw a 2-pack like in our like the rooted for 900 shipped on the BSTs.
There we go.
It's just
There's
crazy.
I saw one
um,
seller. I think they're a retailer or a reseller, let's say, that was doing buy one get one half off for rooted 2-pack jokers. So they're definitely sitting on some inventory over there.
yeah, yeah, that's wild. That's really wild. Let me see here. I think that's most of the comments here. Okay, let's get to the second question here. Chat's
Let's do
chat
it.
is chat's on it tonight, so I want to make sure I get get their comments in and get their questions in. So chat,
I
if you
love
have
it.
questions, yeah, if you have questions for Marco, please send them
Our
right
favorite
now.
thing to do is to kind of interact with the chat.
Yeah,
The more
yeah,
comments, the merrier.
yeah, me too. I love collector tour chats because people always have a variety of questions and interesting questions that usually I have my set of questions, but then it usually will play off of whatever chat has to ask as well. So ends up being a lot of fun. So yes, chat, keep the questions coming. Next question here. Can you tell a story of one of your most memorable collecting moments?
Yeah, memorable collecting moments. Um, I will say more related to streaming than collecting. So, I got into the hobby pretty quickly. Things escalated like most of us. Once you get one in hand, like you want a bunch more. So for a long time, I was kind of searching for podcasts since I love to listen to podcasts. Stumbled across Six Scale Scavengers, across Collecting Weekly, a bunch of other folks that were streaming. Wilfox Vacation, I think, was one that I was listening to at the time, and decided like I think I want to just create some content. I think I've got something to say about these figures. I don't know if it's going to be original or not, but my wife Gigi and myself had been talking about doing a podcast as well, and so we finally decided to record an episode. We recorded it and then never did anything with it for a year. But then I finally put it online, and then I think I reached out to Zach with Collecting Weekly and said, "Hey, trying to launch this podcast with my wife." He said, "Hey, come on after dark." He's a very welcoming person.
Oh no, we lost him. We lost him. We lost him. We'll wait till he comes back. Let's see. Oh, you're back.
Oh, you lost me there for a sec.
I did.
I think Gigi's trying to sabotage us.
She's trying to sabotage the
I'm gonna
collector
blame
tour.
her. Yeah, she's probably watching some 4K content inside right now. So
It's all good.
that's right.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Oh man, I don't know where I ended, but if I said getting on with the Collecting Weekly folks,
You,
that
yeah,
was
you had
definitely
mentioned too. You posted like you filmed something with Gigi, but then you'd end up not posting it.
yeah, it was
Is that
audio
right?
only, honestly, and we had talked about like, oh, let's put it online, let's put it on YouTube, and then we never did for an entire year, and then finally I took the plunge, put that on, ended up going on with Zach and those guys, and kind of things kind of spiraled from there. So
Yeah.
yeah, so and then I got a wife now pulling the plug because I'm streaming too much. So things are
How
escalate
like
quickly.
you stream like I feel like you're on a lot of shows too. Like how many days like what's your schedule?
Yeah, I've been trying to find more balance, as things open up again after the pandemic and we got more social activities. But on a regular week, I'd be on Tuesday with Collecting Weekly, and then Friday with LWO, and then also try to find time to do if I get invited somewhere else or do our own content. So yeah, a minimum normally 2 days a week. But I've been missing a fair amount of shows recently just because there's been a lot. It's been a lot of social activities. So trying to
Yeah,
find
for
that
sure.
balance of online and person stuff.
2 days a week is a like yeah. I pretty much try to stream 2 days a week as well. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's a lot to stream. Like sometimes I'll do three. It ends up being yeah a lot of stuff. Um,
Yeah, that's it.
but
And you want to, have time with your family. You want to play
yeah,
video games. You want to watch movies, TV shows.
yeah.
So watch sports. It's like you can't find time for all of it. So it's tough.
Can't find enough time for all the good stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, very cool. Kind of like getting into streaming was something that's been memorable for you, which yeah, I would echo that sentiment as well for sure.
Just the
Um,
community is really great, right? I've made like some I hope to have lifelong friends, not Big Bretta for sure, but other folks that I've met in the community. So
Yeah.
yeah, just everyone's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I've met some really good people as well. Speaking of good people, the Jedi Knights Watch himself, Graham, is in the house. What a segue. Sorry I'm late. Had to get my popcorn ready. Thanks for being here, bro.
Love it.
Appreciate it. Yes, popcorn. Brick says, hope you have some Sour Patch Kids with that popcorn. Dude, I love Sour Patch Kids. I have a
So good.
huge sweet tooth. I'm not like my wife's all about the chocolate. I'm all about like the gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids, those types of like trolley gummy, sour gummy worms, those things.
See, my problem is I'll go either way. I'll go with the chocolate. I'll
Oh
go with
man.
the sour. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to
Yeah.
choose.
Yeah. Boba Fettuccine is in the house. What is up, dude? Thank you for tuning in. 32 in the house. Hit that like button. Yes, please. This is like you're like the most popular one yet on the show, Marco. It's like the
No,
most people that have been in here.
I'd attribute it to, you just having a really good show. So it's cool that you're starting
Thanks,
to
man. I appreciate it.
grow a larger and larger
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah, starting to get a little bit of audience, which is fun. And then everybody in here saying that GG won and she pulled the plug.
It might happen again. Who knows? We
as
start
soon
talking
as
about
Jedi.
$2,500 ships. I might be a goner.
Yep. Yep. I don't believe in coincidences. That was like some pretty wild timing. The fact that that's the conversation that was going on.
A little too
Oh,
coincidental.
Man, people are. There's a lot going on in the chat. Hashtag LWO for life. Yes. Marco's too busy with his real friends.
Wow.
You're a popular dude, man. TK Magic Shop says snow caps. I'm not really a fan of snow caps. Like that's like the candy, like
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what those are.
it's like I think it's chocolate and then it has like the white dots on it, like covered in white little sprinkle dot things.
Okay, I'm vaguely familiar. I might have to give those another try because it's been a long time.
Yeah, I haven't had those in forever. Nick's Collectibles is in the house. What is up, Nick? Thank you for tuning in, man. Haven't seen you in a while, so happy that you're here. Oh, this is funny. Wait until you have me. Hey, you want to come on the show? I would love to have you on the show, man, anytime. Let's see here. I think that is the majority of the comments here. So keep them coming, chat. Next question here. So I usually like ask kind of about, your thought process, your insight, but I do like to ask one kind of figure question as well. What are your top 3 figures? Do you have a number 1? I know you have a lot of stuff. Like, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is tough, and I may have some recency bias here for sure because I love all the figures that I get. Honestly, maybe minus that Ant-Man, the Civil War Ant-Man is probably the outlier, but everyone I really have love for. So probably top 3. I will say my BVS Batman. That's the design that I love that I had to kind of chase on the secondary market, which I really try not to do, but kind of getting into the hobby, went on eBay and had to track that one down. So also we talked about the rooted 2-pack in art Joker. I loved that. The experience of unboxing that was just, a really just incredible figure. I think I was a little let down because the hype was so high. But once I had a little more time to appreciate it, I think it's settled into one of my favorite figure combinations. I know that's cheating because that's 2 figures, but and then I will say the DeLorean. That was my first vehicle, minus
Nice.
the speeder bike that I had that I purchased. But yeah, the DeLorean's incredible. I was like giddy like a little kid unboxing that thing, and so it's kind of got me eager to maybe add some additional vehicles. Hopefully, Gigi's not watching here still, but yeah, I think those are my top 3 for sure.
Have you ever thought about getting a tumbler?
No comment.
The tumbler, like there's a 35% off coupon right now on the tumbler on Sideshow that I've just been, it's been sitting in my cart.
I may be aware that there is that 35% off, and you could do 3 months of a payment plan,
and it's
so
you could do a payment plan on it.
You could do a payment plan as well, and
I didn't think about
if you
that
had
one.
points expiring in December like myself, you could throw them at it as well. So I won't comment too much, but I will say it's something that I'm very tempted by, and we'll see what the future may hold. But yeah, the Tumblr's one that I had on pre-order originally that I ended up canceling because I was like, this market's kind of unstable. Who knows? It's going to drop lower, and glad I've waited.
Yeah, it's a crazy price right now. I just don't have a Batman. So I'm like, I don't have a Batman right now. Like the Pattinson's about to come out. The Bat Cycle's about to come out. So I'm like, yeah,
There we
I
go.
don't know. I don't know if I want to like pull the trigger right now. But the coupon's valid till end of January. It's like January 31st. It's valid till the Wario holiday one. So
Oh,
I'm
it
kind
is.
of just,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, January 31st. Whether or not they're gonna keep it for that vehicle, because like
For that item.
I know another thing was like it was on the amazing deal coupon for a day and then they pulled it off.
Then they pulled it. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. They
they
must have
pulled it.
sold enough of
They
them.
pulled it the next day. So I don't know like what's going on with this one. We'll see. I didn't know you could do a payment plan on it though. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Cause like it's
Definitely
15
worth looking
bucks
into.
shipping too. It's this huge box. So interesting.
I know
Interesting.
it's tempting. It's tempting. I will tell you
Yeah.
one other thing, not to be an enabler here, but that armory is coming out sometime, over the next few years. So it could look really good next to that Dark Knight Rises armory. Just something to think about.
Something to think about. Thanks, man. Thank you,
Of course, anytime.
bro. Yeah. Graham says probably the only good item on that 35% list. There really isn't a lot. That's the one that's
Yeah.
really caught my eye. It's just a crazy price. Um, yeah, it's wild. TK Magic Shop says that's the hardest part. The Batman Begins is too sketchy with the half shiny and half matte. If Mike is still in here, Mike pause Literus, he can tell you all about the shiny versus matte because he's ordered like a few of them and keeps sending them back until he gets a matte one.
He's like, just
He's
go open the box and tell me if it's matte or not. That's all I need.
yep, yep. So
That's awesome.
yes, yeah, but good selection. BVS Batman, that's one I definitely would like to pick up at some point. There's an armored Batman at a comic shop like 30 minutes from me that they got in that I'm also
Ooh,
yeah, that'd be like the armored one is really cool as well. But
I'd be tempted by that.
it's
With the
it's
BVS though, they're going to do it for InArt's going to do it, right? They've already got the
yeah, it's
Superman.
on
They're
their
going to have the
list, right?
Batman coming. Who knows when, but
Yeah,
it definitely could be worth waiting a bit
yeah,
for.
and Wonder Woman at some point. But
Yeah,
I really like the Warner Brothers 100 one though as well. But we'll see. We'll
yeah,
see.
that's one that I'm a little disappointed I missed out on, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's a good figure.
wait.
Um, but we'll see. Yeah, in art, hopefully they can speed up the process of actually getting this stuff out.
Hopefully,
That's the worst part right now. Who knows like when a BVS Batman would even show up? So we'll see. We'll see what 2024 brings.
that's right.
So next question here. What is your collecting philosophy? How do you navigate the hobby? This is one I like to ask because right now, like like we talked about kind of when I got in the market is just like kind of crazy with everything going on with how cheap figures are, or I should say like how much of a lower price they are compared to retail. Just everything going on with all this waitlist stuff, how you can pick up figures, whether or not you should pre-order. There's just a lot of madness right now, I feel like. And then pretty much everything seems like it's readily available, plus or minus like a couple different figures that are hard to get or they go for a lot of money that are newer. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this here? I'm interested to hear your answer on this one for sure.
Yeah, so my philosophy, I know I always talk with Gigi about this on our podcast, where I wish, I'm kind of a very methodical person in a lot of ways. Like I love to have my spreadsheet, I love to plan out what I'm going to get. But when it comes to this hobby, you kind of lose a sense of, well, your common sense sometimes goes out the window, and you kind of
Yeah.
just want something, right? That consumer mindset. And so
Yeah, for
my
sure.
approach is a little bit more like jazz. I wish it was more scientific. I'm like, this is my tried and true method. But I love to get a good price on a figure because that makes me appreciate it more. I think if I purchase it for a bit cheaper, then I can appreciate that I got a good deal on it. That makes me feel good. I'm always a bargain hunter in a lot of other aspects beyond figures. So but also like I'm in it for the love of the characters, and there's certain ones that I just really want but I don't want to overpay for. So this whole time, even when folks were saying don't pre-order, I've been still pre-ordering stuff, but finding other sellers that you can get kind of a built-in discount for
Yeah.
pre-ordering. So if you're getting free shipping, no sales tax, that's a big selling point to me, even if I know that after release, let's say a few months, it might go down in price, which is always, the risk, which they're trying to correct right now, obviously. I'm still okay with pre-ordering because I know for sure I'm going to get the figure. I'm going to get it hopefully in a pretty timely manner. And then I'm going to have it with a baked in discount. And if it drops lower, I can at least say, I've had it for a little bit and I secured it and didn't have to worry about trying to, go snag one on the secondary market. So those are for ones that I absolutely, love. Like, okay, I know for sure I'm going to get this. I'm going to put in a pre-order, and I try to find certain shops that maybe have a lower pre-order threshold. So, there's some that have a $15 NRD, for instance, and that can, help save some money there. And then for other ones, I'll just kind of put into like on my spreadsheet, like wait and see pile. So for instance, the is it Mark III that just
Yep.
came out, the reissue or
Yeah,
the
the
2.0 of
2.0.
the Mark III. That's one that I have a hard time paying full retail on an Iron Man figure because they're so expensive and they
Yeah.
drop so significantly in the aftermarket that I'm keeping an eye on that. I know that you could still get it in certain places. I don't know what the stock is looking like, but I'm really, really thinking that that one's going to drop at a certain point. So when they're priced that high and I kind of see the trend, that I'm like, I'm going to wait on it a little bit. So that is so kind of my overall philosophy, I guess, if I was going to put a ribbon on it, is I try to save, and there's a big key is try to save as much money as I can, because that means more figures. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to try to get what I love and what I really want to add to the collection. And I wish I had more of a rhyme or reason for ones that I add beyond just the love of it. But that's kind
Yeah.
of what it boils down to, is like I'm back to being that 6-year-old kid looking at the back of the box like, oh, I really want that next one. So it's a pretty irrational thing that I tap into as a collector, but that's what makes it fun for me.
I'm kind of like very similar to you in that way of like I'm really similar when it comes to if there's something I really want, like I pre-order. Um like I'm not sure who you order from, but I guess I'll do my like normal plug for Underground Figures, like a company that I partner with, because it's very similar in that like they're already 5% below MSRP. Depending on where you live, you might not pay tax. Like they double box everything. Shipping is
There we go.
reasonable because they're in Rhode Island, so it's East Coast for me. I'm in Wisconsin. Um, that's usually who I pre-order stuff from, unless it's like a sideshow exclusive like a exclusive item that I need to get with the figure or something. But the really nice thing about them is like there's no NRD pre-orders, so you can just email them and say, hey, this is which is dangerous at the same time
Oh, that's
because you don't
awesome.
have to
Yeah.
put any money down, but you
Yeah.
can basically just make an account on their website and email Raise the owner and just say, hey, this is like I usually just copy the link of the figure. Hey, this is what I want to order. And he'll put you down for it. And then when it comes in, he'll invoice you. So it's no NRD. You never have to put an NRD down, which is something that really draws me to that, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, Also, there's one thing I just want to mention too about Underground Figures, because there's some West Coast people who had asked me, who had kind of been in the comments saying like, well, their shipping is pretty high. If you
Mhm.
just message them directly, you can get he'll give you an accurate shipping quote or like a discounted shipping rate if you message him, email him directly. It'll be a better price than if you try to check out on the website with the shipping rate. So if you want to buy something in your West Coast, just email and say, hey, like, can you give me an accurate price on like a shipped price on this? And Ray will be able to tell you. But I'm very similar. That's kind of my plug for Underground. But yeah, I've been really happy working with them. It's really nice getting stuff double boxed too. That's
Yeah.
always nice. But it comes
Especially if you
double.
were able to sell, a
Yeah,
shipper for
yeah.
the price that you sold it
80
alone,
bucks,
right?
man.
That
80 bucks.
you've
That's
learned your
right. That's
lesson
right.
there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I learned that's always double box, especially if it's going to be a rare figure. But yeah, it was crazy. Like when I got my Bark Speeders, they both came in their shippers inside of like the box that they actually shipped in as well. Like a shipper
Oh wow.
inside, both shippers inside of a shipper. So like no matter what it is, end up being double box, which is just really nice. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how I am with you too. Because when you don't have to, like, especially if you don't pay tax and you're already below MSRP, to me, like that's enough to justify getting it earlier rather
Yeah.
than potentially waiting for like what's going to end up not being a big discount. Because sometimes, like, I'm sure it's the same for you depending on where you order. Sometimes you can get these figures and they're, by the time you pay, sometimes it comes in below what Sideshow's price is, even before you factor in like tax and shipping for them. So it's like
Exactly.
whatever their MSRP is, it ends up being pretty crazy sometimes. So, yeah, I rarely order from Sideshow. So I'm with you. I'm with you on kind of pretty much everything you said. It's hard to, yeah, you want to save. It's hard, man. You get like it's very enticing when you see so many of these figures, and like I said, it takes you back to being a kid, and yeah, you're kind of an enabler, man. I'll say it.
Oh gosh, yeah. I try not to be. I try not to be an
No,
enabler, but we're
I'm
all in
just
it
kidding.
for the love of the
I'm
hobby.
I'm
So,
just kidding. I'm
if you're
just
being
kidding.
responsible, and I
Yeah.
think the best way to be responsible is to try to save a little bit of money. So,
Yep.
No, I think, like you said, if you can save on those two aspects, on shipping and on sales tax, you're already getting such a nice built-in discount. You could
Yep.
feel pretty good about bringing on a figure and having capacity. You do that for 2 or 3 figures, you've basically paid for another one right there.
Yeah, you save a lot. And it's weird because I always see people, oh, like especially a lot of people on like these buy sell trade groups who are like, "Hey, I'm looking for this figure." I'm like, if you go to a few different websites, you can still find this figure in stock, and it's going to be cheaper than you. Like they'll be like, "Oh, it's went waitlisted on Sideshow, so I was unable to get it. Like I was unable to pre-order it from them." I'm like, there are so many more places where you could get this
Expand your
figure.
horizons.
Yeah, expand your horizons, and you could be saving, even though it's gone. You think it's gone, you could be saving a good chunk of money getting it from somewhere else. So, yeah, expand your horizons. Check around. I think that's an important point. Anything else, Marco, you'd like to add for this one?
No, I think that's it. I think I wish I had all the
That's really good.
answers, but that's kind of what I go by. And I haven't found a solution for making your significant other happy. We could talk about the tax that we do, but at the end of the day, they're still going to be a little upset by the hobby, in my experience. So I
Yeah,
wish I had the answer
we're
for
gonna
that.
talk about that.
There
We'll
we
talk
go.
about that question. That one's I saved the best almost for last. um, Eclectic Collector says, "I got the Listerine Iron Man for 211 from Sideshow." Yes,
That's beautiful.
And at the same time, like right now, Sideshow has a lot of great deals on some figures as well. Um, let me see here. Oh yeah, they're talking about this like the Tumblr code, which yeah, it came out of nowhere. We were talking about it. I think on Wolfpack Wednesday, somebody brought it up in the chat. These guys brought it up in chat about like I don't even know where this like Wario holiday code came from.
So I
I
think
have
it's
no
Wario
idea.
64 on Twitter. So I was actually following him for a while now because he was
So it's
dropping
a Wario code.
PS5 links. I think so.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so. I'm
Like
not
connected to
100%
him in
certain,
some
but
way.
I think he's got affiliate links to
Interesting.
Sideshow, so it makes
Wow,
sense that
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 man
would be
is
one of his links.
he is, I love his Twitter channel. He like yeah, I'm pretty sure like that's how I got a PS5 back in the day. It was because of
100%,
Wario.
100% the reason why I
Yeah.
got one and got
Yep.
other friends and family PS5s because of Wario. So
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's funny you say that. I ended up getting a coworker like he's either I think he was 13 or 14 at the time. Like she's like, I can't find one anywhere. And then like sure enough, a Wario link popped up and I ended up getting her one to give her son for Christmas.
literally the same
Um,
experience with me. I
yep,
got my
yep,
coworker one, and her son was about the same age, and he was over the moon about it. So I
yep.
felt like a kind
That's
of
awesome, man.
superhero. It's like,
Yeah,
you
me
just got to
too.
follow
Yep.
Wario on Twitter. That's all.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, you did the same thing as me. Is really really cool. Anytime you can make like a young kid's Christmas like that, oh, I'm taking the opportunity for sure.
Thousand
But
percent.
yeah, shout out to Wario 64 if he's the one that's like putting that code up. Or if that has
And I
something to
know
do with
he's a
him.
big
That's
fan of the
cool.
collection tour. I've seen him post about that. So yeah, definitely, he's definitely out there watching.
Yeah, maybe I'll get him on and see if he collects
There
any.
we
Wario,
go.
if you're out there, hit me up.
Love it.
Um, let's see. Reese is in the house. What's up, nerds? What is up, dude? Thank you for tuning in. I did a collector tour episode with him a while ago as well. Great dude, local to me. Very, very cool. Dilo says, used to shop with Sideshow a lot. $25 codes. Used to work on every figure and they didn't charge tax to Florida. Those were the days. I'm pouring one out, Dilo. Yeah, times have changed.
Yeah.
Times have changed, right? Um, but yeah, great answer, man. Really appreciate that answer. This is like one of like the questions I like the most is kind of gaining people's insight, seeing how they navigate the hobby because it's tricky when you're like I always tell people like when you're collecting at this level, like how it's really easy to get, just like in too deep. And you buy a couple figures, and by the time you buy a couple figures, like you've spent a quite a like considerable amount of money, and there's always new stuff coming out. There's a lot of stuff coming out, so yeah, it's just a crazy time right now for the hobby. Um, I'll be very interested to see what happens over the course of the next month with releases too, because we haven't really got much this month. A lot of
I think we
delays.
can guarantee it's going to be raining releases just like it was last year.
Yeah.
Before the Chinese New Year, we're going to get a
Yep.
lot of stuff.
So probably anytime now we're gonna start seeing more stuff drop. Hopefully on a more consistent basis, but
There we go. I think it's
shall
going to
see.
happen. And everyone's going from like, oh, they're not doing anything to like, oh, hold on, slow down, slow down. I got 3 invoices today. So I think
Yeah.
history will repeat
Yep.
itself.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what you're gonna see is people crying for their wallets. Okay, next question here. What is something you want to improve upon as a collector?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I think that there's, a lot of aspects that I could improve on, but I would just say discipline. So I'm a big proponent of the spreadsheet, like I talked about. Got to keep track of what you've purchased, what you've got on order, just so you could try to make a plan. It's kind of plans are pretty nebulous in this hobby, right? Because you never know when these things are going to drop. You kind of have a window, but they could all come at in 1 week, and then yeah, you're kind of screwed because your plan has gone out the window. But I just want to be a bit more disciplined. It's tough because I'm a big fan of movies, of TV, of just of media in
Yeah.
general. So like a lot of properties speak to me. So that new Predator that dropped, that speaks to me.
Mm.
The RoboCop, even though I'm not the hugest RoboCop fan, that's one that I'm looking at. Star Wars, Marvel, DC, right? So like I don't have one particular lane, and I kind of wish I did, but I'm kind of all over the place. So as my collection has really grown insanely, and I think a lot of people that we collect with are have no issue reselling figures, taking a loss. I don't really want to take a loss in anything that I resell unless it's to a friend. Like, okay, if they're taking it off my hands, that's fine. But so I'm kind of stuck with this allotment of figures that I have, and I'm adding new ones kind of all the time. And so I want to try to shrink that footprint a little bit and just try to slow down if I can. Now the huge caveat is there's just so much good stuff coming out. I don't know how much slowing down I could do, but I know that the way that my collection has grown is not sustainable. So something's got to give. Either I got to sell, or I've got to have a bit more uh, discipline in terms of the figures that I pre-order. So that's the one thing that I definitely want to work on.
It's a really good answer. Having discipline is really hard in this hobby.
Oh
I feel
gosh, so
like, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, it's just so hard. Yeah, like you
Yeah,
were
it's
saying,
hard.
it's just really
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, I talk to the Wolfpack guys a lot, and like we try to hold each other. We always talk about trying to hold each other accountable, and then usually, like, one of us will buy something, and then it's like a domino effect. Once that happens, it seems like then we all end up getting something, and then
That
it's like,
FOMO.
then it goes back into like a little bit of a drought, and it's just kind of like a roller coaster. But it is a lot. It still makes it really fun. It still makes it really fun, talking about what you got. And yeah, it's a fun process to have friends going through it with you as well.
It's one of the best parts if you've got no one to talk to about it. And before I was in the community, I was kind of in these chats. I was on Reddit, so whatever outlet you could find to kind of talk with your friends about, that's really like such an important part of the hobby.
Yeah, no, no doubt, no doubt. Graham says Sneaker's the most disciplined guy I know in theory. Oh, I can't even say that without laughing at myself. Wow, wow.
And you
Uh,
guys are tough because you're going on eBay looking at figures there, and that's one thing that I had to stop doing because you see too many good deals all the time, and
yep,
I should probably stop looking at buy sell trade groups as well because sometimes I'm like I can't do it. I just can't do
yeah.
it.
Yep, I've been a good boy to like these past few days. I haven't really been checking eBay too much. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid it. Yeah, it's funny. I was just about to say yeah. I'm like done buying for the rest of the year now at this point. But I mean, there's really not much left. There's only like a month.
Yeah.
Um, and Christmas is coming up, so at this point, like I'm probably it would have to be like something a really crazy deal potentially, but I feel like I'm always finding crazy deals. That's what's so hard. Like
In
always
this
find like a
market right
crazy deal.
now, yeah,
Yeah.
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 I had to
Um
say no to a 89 Joker. Um, yeah, I just because it's not necessarily the Batman film that I love, and
yeah.
the iteration of Joker that I necessarily love, and it was
Cool figure.
$250 shipped from someone in the community that reached out like, "Hey, do you want these figures?" And I was like, I do, but I
Oh
can't do it.
man.
So I had to tell him, go talk to Ben Thomas. He had, luckily one of the buddies was able to capitalize. But oh man, it was
Yeah,
painful to say no
nice.
to that.
Nice. Yeah, that's dang 89 Joker. So fun fact, I just watched 89 Batman like a month ago, maybe 3 weeks
Oh,
ago.
okay,
Good movie. Good movie. I enjoyed
yeah,
it. That Joker is
it's
cool.
definitely a product of its time for sure, right?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like that's what I mean. Like figure wise, it sounds like you're kind of like me in that like you see and then you see it, and then it's like, dang, like yeah, I like this movie. This would be a really cool figure to have. It just like sucks you into all these different
Yeah,
types of media and stuff like that. It's tough, man.
it's a slippery slope.
Um, Christian Cooper has a question, random question, but has anyone bought from Asmus Toys? I have not. I'm sure
No,
somebody in the chat could potentially tell you if they have or not. I'm sure there's people in here that have.
Yeah, so I haven't purchased any Asmus. I've seen the Gandalf in person,
Mm,
either in Zach's collection or at Comic Con when they were showing off the one that was coming out with the horse. Shadowfax, I think is the name, and they look nice. They look nice, but I think depending on what line they're talking about, I think there might be other brands that are going to potentially do it better in 2023 and beyond.
yeah, yeah, well said. Late Bloomer, what is up, man? Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to 166. First channel I found. Too bad he's a Raiders fan.
I
Oh,
will
man.
say on that point of being a Raiders fan, yes, it is too bad. It's too bad for myself that I'm a Raiders fan. Like people give me a lot of shit for it. Excuse my language there. People give
No,
me a
you're
lot of
good.
crap for it.
You can
And
swear on my show.
all right, I just thought about your son watching. I'm like,
No,
oh,
no, it's okay. You can swear on my show, man.
all right, all
We
right.
got no
And
rules.
so yeah, so like people give me a lot of crap for it. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I could choose another lifestyle choice, but I'm stuck with the team I got. So it's not fun. Like yesterday, it ruined my whole day. But what can I do?
Jose says you spend a lot of time on Reddit. Is this true?
I used to. I don't go on there very often, but that was kind of my outlet before
I
I
love
kind of
Reddit,
found
man.
the YouTube community. I was on Reddit all the time. But yeah, I think it's a fun little subreddit for sure.
People think
And a lot
YouTube. People think there's toxicity on YouTube. Go on Reddit.
I
If you
was
want to
just gonna
speak to
say
some
that's what
savages, go on Reddit. Reddit
yeah.
will give you turn your heart to stone when it comes to that type of stuff. There, people are savages on there.
That one and then like the home theater subreddit with
That's a
people
good
with
one.
like your TV's too high. You see someone with like
Oh yeah.
multi-$1,000 setup and people will
Oh
post your
yeah.
TV's so high. It's like, you know, it's
If
F
you've
off.
got your
It's
TV above a fireplace, do not go on the home theater
yeah.
subreddit.
Do not post it unless you want to get roasted.
You will probably take your TV down immediately, and they will probably make you want to buy a better TV. They'll just
That's
bash
right.
you. Yeah, that subreddit is crazy. I've seen that one too because I put a theater in my basement and like I would reference like that stuff a lot too. And yeah, every time. Another thing is like don't buy a sound bar. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Sound bars are like the other thing that community just like will not tolerate.
That's right.
You're like, what sound bar do you recommend? They'll list like 5 different sound bars, and then they'll be like, don't. Like
Don't
this is
do
what you
it.
should get instead. Don't buy any of those. It's pretty funny. Ben's ears must have been ringing. Is he the one you got this 89 Joker for?
I didn't get it for him, but I directed
Oh,
the person in the
yeah, not
community.
you got,
Shout
yeah.
out to Scott Bradley. I said, "Hey, my buddy Ben Thomas might be interested."
Gotcha.
Ben's
See,
also
okay.
talking a little crap about my new setup. I'm looking down because my computer's down here, the camera's up here, so I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. Ben, f off.
F off, Ben.
That's right.
Dang, they're all sad. They're all sad you didn't say anything about the 89.
Oh, that was
Everybody
before.
wants this.
Yeah, that was before I was close with Calvin and Jose. But you know, in hindsight, definitely I
deal.
like them more than Ben Thomas. So I for sure would have kicked it their way before Ben. So
Dilo says, I remember when Sneaker was done for 2023. That was a fun September. Yeah, and
oh,
then
man.
yep. I was pretty much said like I'm not gonna buy anything for the rest of the year. And then like I bought some stuff. I did sell some stuff though. I actually had sold some like I have sold a few figures towards the end of this year, which is wild to think about. You know, I had like I had a few Star Wars figures I just couldn't place like in my collection. Didn't really
Mhm.
need them. Like especially after I got cases up, got everything displayed, like the themes of my case. I'm like, I don't really need this like figure. I can't really place it anywhere, so I ended up selling them, which was a big deal for me personally.
Yeah, that's see, I haven't been able to bring myself to sell any more
It's
figures.
tough. It's tough.
I had a really
Sell
bad
stuff.
experience on eBay, and ever
Mm.
since then, I'm been like, nah, I'd rather burn this figure than sell
Rather
it to a
burn it.
shithead like that. So,
Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yep. All it takes is one bad eBay experience for sure.
there we go.
The movie canon's in the house. Hey guys, what is up, man?
Hey.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate you tuning into the show. Let me see. Could be worse. Could be a Jets fan. You're damn right. I hate the Jets.
Oh God, Jets are just Raiders East. That's
Yeah.
all. We have a
Yeah.
similar pain here.
Okay, next question here. Chat, keep the questions coming if you have any from Marco here. Appreciate you all tuning in to the show and sticking around. Chat has been popping off tonight, so appreciate all of you. Let's see. What is your most important piece of advice to give to other collectors?
Yeah. So, you know, first of all, just do the opposite of whatever I do. Just definitely do the absolute opposite of it. But no, in all seriousness, I talked about the spreadsheet. I'll bring that up till my voice goes out. Spreadsheet, I think, is just so important because it's so sobering to tally up all the figures that you've purchased and then all the figures you plan to purchase, and you see that total or the subtotals, and you'll want to pass out. Like, you'll be sick to your stomach thinking that you've spent this much on action figures, on dolls, on whatever you want to call them, on art pieces.
Yeah.
You realize how quickly it gets into the excessive category, and how you could have bought, probably a car with the amount of money that you spent. But it's important to have that barometer, so you really have a sense of how, off the deep end you're going. Now, is that going to ultimately rein you back in? Maybe not, but it's important to try to collect with as much in your budget as you possibly can. And I think that's an important tool to do so. And then to plan for the future, because it's so easy to be like, you talked about underground figures where they've got no NRD, or there's other ones where it's $15. It's so easy to just say, oh, I'll just drop $15, and then, or no
So
money
easy.
at all, pre-order
So
it, and
easy.
then when the bill comes due, then you've got no plan. So I think that's one of the most important pieces to keep yourself in check, as much as you can. So
Yep.
yeah,
100%.
that's the one.
100% agree. I keep a spreadsheet as well. It's a really nice thing to just have like a running total. Like, I have everything from when I first started buying, and like I'll subtract. Like, if I have a figure that I sell, I'll mark that figure like a different color, and then I'll subtract
Yeah,
it from the total. So I just keep this, like, I keep that, and then I use, shout out to Jedi Knight's Watch. He has a really nice like spreadsheet where you can plug in for pre-orders, where you can plug in like photos and like when it was announced, when it's coming out, um, whether or not you pre-ordered it, and you can like kind of prioritize like that. And then it has like a nice payment, like a monthly payment plan chart on the spreadsheet as well. If anybody's interested in that, hit up Jedi Knight's Watch. He can get you that document. That's what I use for all my pre-orders. And you're right, it's sobering when you look at the running total that you plug
gosh.
in for these pre-orders. And like, it helps me out too. Like, it does help seeing that too, because like I'm like, I've been saying it, like, I'm for pre-orders, like I'm pretty much capped for 2024. I mean,
Yeah.
inevitably some of that stuff's probably going to get delayed, but you can't bank on that for like the majority of the figures, you know
And
what I
they've got to
mean?
catch up at some point, right? Something's got
Hmm.
to give. So there's
Yeah.
going to be a time where we're just going to get slammed with stuff that we thought was maybe going to slip to 24. That's all coming at once. So
Yeah.
I'm very worried about that for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy too, especially with these artisan figures, because two of those artisan figures are like, you're looking at nearly like $1,000. And then
Yeah.
you add in all these other ones, like the Ahsoka line is one that's gonna just be a really insane one. Like, if those all drop within the same window, that's gonna be, I don't, are you gonna pick any of those up? Ahsoka figures?
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick a few of those up. And
I
that's not
forget if
even
we
a
talked
show that
about
I.
this on Wolfpack or not.
Yeah, I think we may have talked about it a bit. That's not a show that I necessarily loved, but I think the figures came out looking so nice. The
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson, wide Ahsoka look is something that I was like, I don't need that figure. I didn't love that episode, but when you see that head sculpt, it's like, I kind of want it. So, and then Thrawn as well. Thrawn looks like an amazing figure. You put him next to Darth Vader, that'd be a pretty elite display. So, yeah, I might be in trouble with that line.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been that many properties that I've necessarily loved this year either. So maybe there's a little bit of room to add some figures from there.
Good rationalization.
There we go. Always that
There we
collector
go. There
brain.
we
You
go.
got to
Yep.
do those
Yep.
mental gymnastics, the
Yep.
galaxy brain stuff to
For
rationalize
real
it to
mental
yourself.
gymnastics. Yes,
That's
that's
right.
like on a daily. My brain is so athletic from this hobby.
That's right.
um, Sunnyvale Russ is in the house. What's good, folks? What is good, man? Thank you for tuning in. Um, Graham says lots of fun colors on his spreadsheet too. He's marketing his free
Nice.
spreadsheet.
I'd love to see the spreadsheet.
Yes, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm sure he'll send it to you. It's nice. Yeah, you can color code it and like put like, yeah. I usually put like my pre-orders on there, where I pre-ordered from. Mark that in a certain color, whether or not I put an NRD down for certain things. It's really nice. And then of course the running total. I like too how you can put in like the main column. It's not just the name of the figure. Like, it's like I put the picture that shows like the whole overview of the figure. So like the figure, all
Oh,
the
that's awesome.
accessories, like the main photo. That's the photo that I end up using. It's yeah, it's really cool. I would recommend you
Yeah.
at least take a look at it.
Okay, I'll definitely.
Um,
Yeah, I'm open to switching up what I got right now. I
yeah,
definitely don't have any photos in mind, so
yeah,
that'd be the next step.
yeah. Late Bloomer says instantly sold my Mando Ahsoka for the new joint. Yeah, so
Nice.
I'm pretty sure like we talked about this too, like on the last Wolfpack episode. I think D'Lo and I are gonna potentially try to mod the head sculpt, like remove like the crown piece, or like the tiara piece, I guess you'd call it. Because it's like it's plastic, it's like plastic, but it's like kind of like it's attached to the head sculpt. So I'm guessing they just glued it on there. So I wonder if it could be heated up or something and then just pulled off there. We'll see. Might be one of the first figure mods I do because that headpiece doesn't match the new one doesn't match the Mando Ahsoka one. So like what I want to do is
Yeah.
put the alternate head sculpt on the Mando, like with like the combat head sculpt I call it. But I'd have to I'd want it to be accurate with like that headpiece.
Got it.
So we'll see. We'll
For
see.
me, that's not as important. So if the headpiece fits on the Mando one, I totally would swap it over.
Yeah, you're just gonna do it.
But
Yeah.
I think so. But knowing Hot Toys, it's not going to fit, and then we're all our plans are going to
Yep.
be for naught.
Yep.
But it'd be really cool of them if
Yeah,
they,
we'll
if you're
see.
listening, it'd be really cool if you did that.
It'd be really cool. Be really cool if you did it. I think it depends on what the Leku shape is. I think that's the main thing. Whether or not the Leku will sit at the angle of like the top of the head. I think
It's
that's
true.
the main part. But I don't know. We'll see because the Leku is different too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure what's gonna happen there, but would definitely be cool. I hope they do it. I'm gonna keep the figure regardless because I really like the kind of different representations of Ahsoka wearing the darker clothes and the lighter clothes. But I could see Late Bloomer. I could see you're not alone. People have been already selling that figure. Like I've been seeing this Ahsoka go for 200 shipped. It's crazy. Some people are just like getting rid of this thing already. Um, Graham is posting his email in the comments. If you want the blank spreadsheet, he'd be more than happy to send it to you. Thank you, Graham, for that. TK Mag Shop says, Marco, when you fill up the cabinets, where will you put your next set of figures?
Wow, great question. Okay, so right now I'm streaming from. We've got a detached garage that was renovated before we bought the house. And so one side is Gigi's office that she pretty much used throughout law school, and she's also working predominantly from home. So she's got her office over there and a fixed up bathroom as well, which is pretty sweet. It's actually nicer than the bathroom in the main house. And then this side was redone, but it's a little bit more of a storage room. So there's some shelves that's kind of like a workbench, and then also the flooring is more like rubber, so it's more like a, I don't know, it's temporary flooring almost
Sure.
over concrete. So the plan is ultimately for initially we thought maybe we'd open the wall and make it one big unit, but now knowing that Gigi's going to be working from home and I'm working from home most of the time, the plan is to make this kind of my art gallery space, and then we'd buy, another basically a shed to store all the stuff that's in here right now, which isn't too much, but some of the stuff that's would need to be a little more weather resistant or be in a nicer cabinet.
Sure.
So ultimately, this will be my art studio. I'll bring all the cabinets that I've got in the main house, which are all the display cabinets that I've got in the thumbnail, which is in our theater room right now.
Yeah. Nice.
And then so I've got these cabinets. I've got the Maja cases that are in that in the thumbnail. I've got 3D Tolfs. I've got 2 Billies in there, and then I just bought some garage shelves. So there's a long-winded way to respond to this question, but I just
It's a
bought
good
some of those
answer.
garage shelves, and I'm going to try to do that Maja case rip-off kind of conversion. Because shout out to Eddie Money Mendez, but he just did it. And also, I was looking at posing with Peter's video, and obviously Costa's got a great tutorial as well. And so I'm like, it's something that I think I could do. So I'm going to try to do one of those and fit figures in there, figures in here, and then in the main house for now until everything moves back here. So
Yeah.
I've
Nice.
done what Gigi said I wouldn't do, and I've taken over another space with with some cabinets. But the collection was growing too quick, so I needed a little bit more space.
And it's going to be all like centralized. Like it's all going to be in that one location. You
That
said,
is the
right?
plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Yeah, to have it
Yeah.
all in here, and it'll just be my quote unquote art gallery. So,
Yeah.
if anyone wants to check out the collection, or if I want to stream, I'll be in this centralized location.
Yeah.
So that
Very
is the
cool.
plan, but we'll see how long that takes us to implement.
Yeah. That's exciting, man. Yeah. Good plan. Good plan. Broke on Toys is in the house. Hello, everyone. Juan, what is up, dude? Thank you for tuning in, man. Jose says, I saw an Ahsoka for 180 shipped. Oh, that's sad. That's so sad.
Dang.
That
It's a
is
great
so
figure
sad.
too.
It is
Like,
a great
yes, the
figure.
sculpt is nowhere near the new one, but it's a really, really beautiful figure.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. The only like I didn't really have the head sculpt when they put the side by side of the new one. That was is what really showed, like the difference in the head sculpt. Like I didn't think it was too bad. I didn't think it was perfect by any means. But then when I saw the new one, I'm like, okay, this one is not. Like the new one looks a lot better.
I know people hate when they do that, or not. You know, some folks
Yeah.
say, this is an insult. It's saying, look how much shittier the version you just bought is. But
Yeah.
I kind of like it because someone's going to do it anyways. They're going to do a
Yeah.
side by side comparison. So why
Yeah.
not just do it for us
Yeah.
so we can make an informed decision?
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Like in the picture that they put, like the side, like the photos when they did the announcement, they put like updated Leku length, and I'm like, you guys aren't gonna say anything about how you literally did a brand new head sculpt. You're
Way
gonna talk
better
about
head
the
sculpt.
Leku, yeah. You're gonna talk about the Leku, but you're not gonna like acknowledge like the literal elephant in the room here right now is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. Late bloomer says 180. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That's another thing is like I think we're in a time right now with with the economy where it's like the figures like somebody's okay with losing that amount of money on a figure. Like they bought it and like, okay, I'm gonna be out $50, $100 or whatever. And then it's like, somebody they'll a lot of people just take the first offer that they get for it. It's crazy.
And I
Just
wouldn't
because
even
like they need the
pretend
money
it.
or
Yeah, so you just never know someone's financial position, right? So I don't
yeah,
want to judge them for moving on. That's something that I would hope not to have to do. But
yeah,
if you're really hard up, you might just be like, give me as much as I can get right now. Holidays are coming up, so yeah, it's
yeah,
tough to see that when because I want as many people in this hobby as possible. Like I want new people in here for it to grow and get more notoriety. It doesn't need to be mainstream, but I just like new people in the hobby. To see people leaving or selling off their collections because they need the money is definitely tough.
yeah. It leaves a sour taste, right? It sucks. Like you don't. It's not something you want to see for anything. You don't want to a figures that probably mean something to somebody too. You know what I
No
mean? Like
doubt.
that. Yeah, that part sucks. It sucks to see that, and then it just makes it worse when the value on it is just getting low. Like or
Yeah.
they have to sell it a lot lower at this current time. So kind of also another point is just make sure you really want what you're. The other end of that is if you're selling something because you just don't want it anymore, make sure you get what you want. Because it's hard. A lot of stuff you just ends up losing out on right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You can't be
Um,
compulsive. Like I see Graham is talking about getting Captain Marvel for 135. I will enable him, Graham, go buy that figure and
that's a
then I'll
pretty
buy
good
it from you
price.
for $50 shipped when you're over it in 2 months from now. I'll definitely
Yeah,
no, the Captain Marvel figures are ones that I've looked at for a while though, where I'm like, I didn't hate the first film. I have considered it, but yeah, just
I
they've
didn't
got
hate
no
it either.
value.
And like she's I would say like she's an important character, and also like in Endgame, like she's does like
She was great in Endgame.
good. Yeah, I thought she like was good, but the figure is just yeah, nobody wants it. It's interesting, but feel like it would look good on like a Marvel shelf.
I
Could be
would
in the
think so.
minority there because nobody wants the figure.
But maybe
Um,
there's a new version coming out here soon that's going to have an elite head sculpt, and
Probably
then
there probably is
you
a
would
new one
assume,
that's going to end up coming out.
yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
Even though
Um,
apparently everyone hated that film, I've yet to see
yep,
it, but
I have
yeah,
yet to see it as well.
I've actually heard okay things from some folks.
Yep. Late bloomer says as a Brie Larson simp. I endorse that decision. Yeah, I've like looked at the figure. I don't think you guys now he says you guys talked me out of it. Yep. Yep. There you go.
Oh
There you
man,
go.
we should have done the reverse
We
psychology.
should-
I should have told him
Yep.
to.
Yep. Okay, a couple more questions here. What figure would you show someone to highlight your 1/6 scale collection? If there was just one that you could show them, like this is what this is about, what one do you think you would go for?
Yeah, so I think I initially when InArt was coming into the market and they were talking about doing more rooted hair figures, the only rooted hair figure I had was Wonder Woman, the specifically the Golden Armor Wonder Woman, and that rooting hair stinks. It's no good. It's Barbie hair, and so I wasn't a huge proponent of that. I'm like, I don't think rooted hair is really for me. I think it's a little bit too doll esque. So I think if they do rooted, sculpted versions, that's probably what I'll get. And as I've had more time to kind of study it and see how lifelike it looks with proper rooting, um, I was like really, really impressed by that in art Joker 2 pack. And so I think if I was bringing someone into the collection room, I'd probably show them the purple coat version of that, because it just looks, if you got it in the right pose under the right lighting, it looks so much like Heath Ledger. I think that that's one that could get them, kind of, they probably would be blown away by that. So that's the one for me.
Yeah, that's
If
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say second figure, I would just say like an Iron Man. Any Iron Man, those
Yeah,
are always pretty impressive as well.
yeah. You're not the first person to say like, yeah, Heath Ledger or like in our Joker. There was somebody, I forget who, somebody commented in the past that they had a friend come over who knows nothing about Hot Toys, who ended up sorry, my dogs are being chasing each other in the background right
Oh,
now, but
good. Our dog's always barking in the
they're
background. So
they're getting riled up for no reason right now, late at night, not sure why.
they got the
Um,
zoomies.
Yep, got the exactly. But yeah, somebody had mentioned like somebody came into their like saw their collection and was like, "Wow, that literally looks like they shrunk down Heath Ledger and put him into a figure. Like it's crazy." So yeah, that's a safe answer for sure.
There we
Um,
go. I wish
yeah,
I was more
yeah.
creative, but it's
I
the
mean,
first
it's
one that
like
comes to
it's
mind.
true. It's like one of the.
Yeah.
It's so realistic. Yeah, it's a. I would say like yeah, a great choice for a figure to showcase. Ben Thomas says the Jewish Knights watch, and everybody's saying that better not stick. Great. This is a great
Oh my
autocorrect right
gosh.
here. This is beautiful. That is great.
Ben Thomas.
That is great.
That would only happen to Ben Thomas. I'm
That
sorry.
is
That's
great. That is
amazing.
great. It's okay. It's okay. That's funny. Um, yes, Graham's also trying to hunt down a Loki for his collection. Doesn't, but then I mean, I haven't seen I haven't finished Loki season 2 yet. But people like they've already said they're gonna make figures from that show, and apparently there's like an ultimate version of Loki that they're gonna probably end up doing. So,
I think
Graham,
it's
you should
worth
wait.
waiting.
You should
Yeah,
wait.
I think
You
I
should
think
wait.
it's
And then they
definitely
like
one to wait on.
and then they show this like Loki on the throne with the President Loki head sculpt on the Endgame body, which is the one that you want. You know, that's like the one that you want to get is definitely like the one like that version of the figure. So yeah, yeah, I'm going to wait it out. We talked him out of it again.
There we
This is a
go.
good
And Graham,
this is a good intervention.
there we go. There we go. He just needs to hear us speak about a figure, and
Yeah,
he's over it.
yeah.
Don't sleep on the TVA Loki, though. I think that's
Cool
the one that
figure.
I have in my collection right now. The head sculpt on that is awesome. So
That's the one that has
really,
like
really
the
like that one.
variant jacket on, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
really
variant
cool.
jacket.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Everyone's like,
enjoying season
he's
2.
yeah. Season 2 was really
Yeah,
well done.
I'm like
Honestly,
I
some
think
of
I'm
my
on
favorite
episode
Marvel
3.
stuff.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Yeah,
Get
it's
through it as
really
quickly as you can before
yeah.
someone spoils the
I'm
good stuff
really
for you.
trying to. I'm really trying to. It's tough. Jazzy's here. Evening, boys. We'll catch replay later. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, Brick says that throne was pretty sick. Yeah, I like TVA. The TVA one does look cool. Jeffrey's in the house. What is up, man? Black Panther Civil War 2.0. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. I do want a Black Panther. I like the original suit, though. Yes.
The Civil
Someday.
War version or the solo
I
film
like the
version?
I like the one that the most recent one that just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the solo film original. Like well, I guess like they did the other solo film and then now like this original suit that comes with all the accessories. The latest one that just came out.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
It's
the
from
version.
it's from the solo film, but it's the same costume as the Civil War
Yep.
one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
an incredible figure, honestly. I think that
Yeah.
sculpt is pretty. I know folks were kind of saying initially it was just a repaint of the one that they released before, but I think it's like a pretty good improvement. So I really like that
Yeah.
figure.
I think so too. Yep. I will
And
hopefully
Civil War
get it at some point.
the best Marvel film. Honestly, I think that's
I
my
like that
favorite
movie
one.
a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Like I really like Winter Soldier. But Cap's my favorite too, so but
Yeah.
it's hard to like pick. It's hard to pick when you get into like picking it in one of the individual Marvel movies versus like the ones where everybody comes into the movies because they're just
Yeah.
so different. But yeah, yeah. Tyler says I've cooled big time on Marvel, but really liked Loki. Yeah, maybe they're gonna pull some start. Marvel's gonna heat back up again. We'll see.
I would count
We'll
on
see.
it. There's too much
Yeah,
talent behind it, too much
yeah,
money and too much talent for them just to
yeah,
completely fizzle out.
yeah. And I've gotten into like a little bit of like some. I've gotten a few Marvel figures as of late too because they're really good prices, and Marvel's is like they're down. It's down right now. It's a good time to try to collect Marvel. and I'm only going really like end game and before that, trying to do like mostly Infinity War end game, just like my main, like the main version of the figure that I like for like kind of. I'm not gonna do them all, just like the one
Mhm.
characters that I really like, but yeah, it's a good time to get into it based on the stuff that
Absolutely.
they've been coming out with. So, but okay, the question that we've all been waiting for: how do you navigate collecting with your significant other? You're like the best prime person to ask this question to.
We're the poster children of the spousal
I love it.
collecting relationship. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a tough one because obviously Gigi and I have chronicled our kind of ups and downs with the hobby, with the podcast. And, I've had some folks ask me, like, is it kind of an act? Do you put on an act? And I think everyone that's met us in person realized, like, that's how she and I talk to each other. We just bicker like that. We kind of, make jokes with each other. Like, that's just the nature of our relationship.
Yeah.
So the best compromise that we've found so far is this idea of me paying a tax. So I think Gigi was most concerned with balance, right? That's what she always talked about. You're spending so much money on your figures, but we have so many other priorities that we want to travel, we want to fix up the house. There's so many other things that we want to do. We want to, save obviously for an emergency fund. And so what we came up with is if I buy a figure, then I put that equal amount into our shared account. And now I think there was a misconception that would go to her and now she would go and buy all this stuff. Well, the thing about Gigi is she's not very materialistic. Like she's, the opposite of that. I've tried to buy things for her, like at Macy's, like a brand new coat, and she will take it back because she's like, I could find that at the thrift store for cheaper. So she's just, she
Thrifty.
doesn't look,
Nice.
yeah, she's very thrifty. She's very pragmatic in that sense. And so she doesn't look at collecting the way that I do. Obviously, we're on very different spectrums of how we would spend money on collecting. And so I think that, that's number one is we found that compromise that's working for now. Obviously that puts a strain on how much I can get in the hobby, which is maybe good. It kind of puts some guardrails on how quickly the collection grows. And then also we just kind of consistently talk about it. And so whether that's on the podcast or she and I take walks together, that's kind of when we talk about financial stuff, or just kind of we catch up on things in life. So I think that constant communication about she doesn't want to know every figure that's coming in. She's like, don't tell me, like, it's just going to piss me off. But we just kind of talk in broad strokes about where the collecting is, and what's going to, be happening in terms of figures coming in over the next month or so. So that is the best way that I found to navigate. But if I was going to like say the best advice, I would just say don't collect. If you want a happy significant other, probably just don't collect. But
Interesting point. Yeah.
if you're if you're trying to find a compromise, then you got to get their input on exactly what the correct balance looks like.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point. Like you made a lot of good points. Well said with that of like, yeah, communicating about what you're doing and like how it affects the overall financial picture is really important, right?
Of course.
And like I think like it goes to show kind of how you mentioned that, she's kind of just like, oh, I know you said like, oh, like just don't tell me about that one. I think like that also shows like a level of trust that you're not gonna be an absolute fool at the same time.
There we
You know
go.
what I mean? I
I
think
think
like
people
that's
have said tax fraud if I
yeah,
was going to be caught
tax
for
fraud.
tax fraud.
Tax fraud. Yeah, I think like that's important. Like I feel like that does show like a level of trust there of like, well, yeah, like it's kind of like, well, I also know that you don't tell me, but I also know that you're not going to be, like too much of a fool.
Yeah.
Jedi has a good question. If you sold the figure and used that money to buy another, would you have to pay the tax?
I would. I think that's the current structure. That's the way that we have the verbal
Interesting.
agreement put down. Is that even if the money comes back into the collection, the moment I'm buying a new one, I get taxed on that new one. So just like the U.S. government, it's just
Yeah.
she's more punitive than Biden's administration. So it's a little frustrating at times, but that's the compromise to keep
Yep.
her as
Yep.
happy as she could possibly be.
Yep. Yep. Fair enough. Just want to give a quick shout out to Stephen with a V. Oh man, I'm late to the party. That is okay, man. You can always catch the replay. Glad to have made it to a live portion. Me as well. Thank you for tuning in. Always good seeing you. Yeah, Ben says it's actually a really amazing compromise. Lots of respect and honesty. Really, like that's a unique one to say. Like, oh yeah, you buy and then you put money into like your joint fund of like what you're gonna do for other stuff. I think that's really cool. That's actually like a really smart way to save money too. I feel like,
There we
um,
go.
and like it's a lot. Like that's a lot of money.
Oh gosh,
That's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah. It's
money. Like you buy one figure and you're matching that.
yeah,
You're
it's
basically yeah, yeah. You call
it
it a
makes me
you
definitely
call it a
pause.
tax. It's like a figure retirement match.
There we go. Exactly,
Um,
matching
yep, yep. You're like
matching contribution.
matching contribution for your figures. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
like a retirement contribution.
And this
Um,
was really the compromise. So her initial proposal was putting a cap on how much I could spend a year. And I told her in this hobby, it's really hard to do that because you just don't know when they're coming. And like I said, I like to kind of be like Jazz with my collecting, where like, oh, I'm going to get this, pre-order this, and kind of freestyle at times. And so I don't want to have that cap because that means that I
yep,
may miss out on something that I really thought was important to add to my collection.
yep. Worst case, you could always sell something. You know what I
There
mean?
we go.
Worst
And the
case.
time will come where I'm going to
Yep,
have to, for
yep.
sure.
I feel like for everybody, the time's going to come at some point where you are capped and you have to get rid of some stuff. But also, I think like it seems like for some people who've been in the hobby for a longer period of time too, that you just like, maybe it's just you've had your time with that figure and it's not as important as it once was to you and you move on from it just like other things. You know what I mean? So,
There we go.
um, there may come a time at some point where you'll have to do that. But, no, I think that's really cool. Like yeah, that's probably one of the more unique answers I've heard as far as that goes. Most of the people I've talked to on here, like their significant others have been pretty supportive, but it's tough. Like, especially if you collect a lot of figures, you got to try to like navigate it in a way that's smart and you're being smart with your money, but at the same time, it's expensive. So I think like overall kind of main point for sounds like, sounds like, you got a good one in Gigi giving you some good support over there, Marco.
She's definitely supportive as
Yeah,
much as she can be because I like we talked about the
it's really
mental
cool.
gymnastics, the galaxy brain stuff that you've got to partake in to be a collector is it's pretty irrational a lot of times. So for her to try to see my perspective as much as she can, I appreciate her for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very well said. Love that answer. Ben says, loving the Batman cape, top right.
Shout out to Unreal Customs. I know Jackson Jew and Unreal are kind of the two names in terms of custom capes that I've seen, but Unreal has been really, yeah, I've got a lot of their work and really makes really quite high quality stuff for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Titer says, Nico, let me know if you're moving on from the Obi-Wan. That will never happen. Nobody will ever get my New Hope Obi-Wan.
Is this Old
Um,
Man Ben or which one is it?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, probably. I think
A
that's the
New
one
Hope.
he's referencing. I think
Got
because
it.
I just
Got
put
it.
out a YouTube short for like just 5 figures I'm thankful for, and he was on there. I think I remember him commenting on it. But yeah, a New Hope Obi-Wan will never get rid of that figure unless they did like a 2.0 that was significantly better, I guess. But yeah, I'll get all the Obi-Wans. He's the goat to me. So
Now that
um,
you've said that, they're going to be dropping it tonight because it is the anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So they, of course, they're going to do a New Hope figure,
they're gonna
right?
do
Another one.
a Return of the Jedi anniversary flashback edition figure, a New
There
Hope,
we go.
Ben
Exactly. That's right.
Kenobi.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it the do back is from A New Hope? Everyone's like, okay, why are we
yep.
getting this right now?
Love the do back. Got that one pre-ordered. Very, very excited for that one. But
I may have
this,
that one coming in as well, but
yeah,
again, I plead the fifth for now.
do back. Like if you choose to get that, get that. Are you just gonna do back, or you can do like the deluxe with the Sand Trooper?
I think you'd have to get the trooper. I'm not a
I think so too.
huge trooper collector, but I love stormtroopers specifically. So I think that you'd have to get the sand trooper for sure.
I feel like you have to as well. Like you have to do if you're gonna get the do back and you don't have a Sand Trooper. I feel like if you don't have the A New Hope Sand Trooper already, like you have to get the Sand Trooper with the
Yeah,
sergeant with this figure, or with
I
this
think
like
so. You might as well go big on that one.
Yep, yep. Definitely get them both. Reverse Zeo's tuning in to catch the end of the show here. Evening, everyone. What is up, Carlos? Appreciate you being in here. Go check out Carlos. He just hit 100 subs on his YouTube channel and did a giveaway already for the community. So shout out to you, man. That was really cool of you to do. But yeah, go check out his content. He does some really cool content. Reverse Zeo. So shout out to him. Jedi says
Great
Hot
dude.
Toys for yeah, he's a great dude. Hot Toys forgot it was a 40th anniversary. Yeah, we'll see. There's still hope. I feel like they might do a couple more um, Return of the Jedi um, figures, but we'll see. We'll see.
We should take some bets because I'm thinking that that hope is fading, but I hope we're wrong.
I'm the most optimistic, hopeful one in the community. I feel like when it comes to a lot of stuff, because
Because you've
I'm kind
only
of
been
new
in the
to
game
the.
for a little
Oh,
bit,
you're right.
right? Yeah.
Yep. So my dreams haven't been shattered yet. I've only been in the
There we
game for
go.
like a little over a year, so pretty optimistic. But I haven't really had to play like the waiting game on a lot of stuff yet. You know what I mean? That's not like I've been waiting over 2 years for this figure to come out.
You
I've
honestly
been
came at the
spoiled.
perfect time. I think
Yeah.
so. I think
Yeah.
like good deals, things are coming out quicker. It's a great
It
time
was
to
the
join the hobby.
perfect time to join for sure. Like, I've always tell people like if I would have joined 2 years earlier, I wouldn't be able to. I definitely wouldn't have as many figures as I do because I got like well the majority of my stuff is used, but like I got just like some unheard of deals that I feel like are just so lucky, in a sense. But yes, yes, I it's evolving a little bit too since I started with all these like all just a crazy amount of releases they've been doing and stuff too. So it's fun. It's been a fun first first year, I guess, a little over a year of collecting. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for year two. With that being said, guys, I think we are going to end the show here. Um, Marco, do you want to do a little plug for what's coming up on your channel? Some of the stuff you're working on.
Definitely. So I do want to plug a few other channels. First of all, Collecting Weekly, I'll be on there tomorrow and just about every Tuesday on the main show. So tomorrow, I think we're doing the awards show. So everything from best 1/6 figure of the year to I think most improved company. So it should be a pretty awesome
Oh,
show. So
nice.
check that out. It is at let's see 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. So should be a really great show. Also on LWO on Friday nights. I think it's on Mario's channel this week. So Mario El Profesoro. So take a look at all of our social medias and we'll kind of announce. We're not like super consistent in terms of start time, but I think we're trying to get better about that. But you know, last week's show was on my channel. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go take a look at LWO. It was just a really dumb time per usual. And then Gigi and I just hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
So we're going
Congrats.
to do a 2K subscriber stream, which we did promise that we do a 1K subscriber stream, and we never did it. But this
It's
time we've
okay.
got a giveaway. There we go. So we're making it up this time. So shout out to Marcos over at Collector Zone is giving away a blurg to the community.
Oh,
And then
dope,
also,
dude.
I think we've got two $25 gift certificates or credits for his shop. So go to Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook and be a member there. And then we're going to announce when we're going to do the live stream. I'm pretty sure we're going to do it this Saturday, but I still need to kind of coordinate schedules with Gigi. So I'll kind of give a day or two notice before we do the live stream. And then I think we're going to do trivia within the live stream. So, you know, do a little bit of trivia, enter everyone that answers a question into or gets a question right into a random drawing there. So yeah, should be a really fun stream.
Yeah, very
And then
cool.
hopefully another episode of the She Said No podcast here very soon.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, you do a lot of stuff. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Congrats on 2K subs. I saw that today when I was putting your links in the description, but you guys can go check out his stuff below. Speaking of links in the description, but yeah, I saw you had crossed the 2K mark. So congratulations. Well deserved. Um,
Well, I don't know
very
if
very
deserved, but
cool.
you know, Gigi's the star, and no, I will say, you know, hack in terms of YouTube subscribers, those YouTube shorts. I know Ben Thomas was the one that turned me on to that. My gosh, you know, the some of those shorts like go gangbusters. I saw another channel that was kind of in the same realm as us that has like 44,000 subscribers now. I think based off of YouTube shorts. So yeah,
Yep.
the game is definitely evolving over here. And my
Yep.
man
I
Ben
try to
Thomas, appreciate you.
yep, yep, yep. Uh I try to do like shorts here and there too, because yeah, you can get like some nice views and like it's a good way to get people drawn to your content.
There we go.
Yeah, and then hopefully they check out kind of the long form stuff. I really like live streaming. That's like probably the thing I like doing the most, just like going doing live stream stuff. I don't have a ton of time to. It's always easier for me to sit down, do a live stream, and not have to worry about editing anything. It's just done when it's done. It's
Yeah.
posted. People can watch a replay. Live is just like it's just a lot. It's just more fun to me, natural in general, to just do live streams. I try to post content here and there when I really care about something, but It's tough with everything. I had 2 kids,
Oh
just
gosh,
busy
yeah, just to
time or 2
find the
young
time.
kids. Yep. So try to do what I can, but yes, every once in a while I'll post some extra content. Anything else, Marco, you want to say content wise?
No, I think that that's it.
Yeah,
But
man,
really,
it's
really
good about
appreciate
stuff.
you having me on today. It was a really, really fun
Yeah.
conversation, and
Yeah.
appreciate everyone in the chat contributing, minus Ben Thomas and Jose Plus, who are both banned from all of my social medias now. So
Banned. Yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on to the show. Yeah, really, really happy to have gotten you on. I enjoyed chatting with you in the past too. So you're just a really cool dude and a great person
back at you.
for the community for sure. So for coming up on my channel, what do I have even going on? So Wednesday, I'll be on usual Wolfpack Wednesdays at 9:30 Eastern with my guys, Jedi Knights Watch, Brick Artemis, D'Lo the Collector, and we have a special guest this Wednesday, so tune in for that. I've heard he's a pretty okay guy in the community who's going to be coming on the show, but I'll save that for Graham to do the announcement.
Oh wow,
Um,
okay.
I just kind of rebranded. It's not that big of a deal. It's not, this person's not that big of a deal. Don't let him get a big head. But you'll see who it is. And then I just kind of rebranded a live stream. Like I've been trying to come up with another live stream that I've been doing like every other weekish potentially. Like I think what I'm gonna do is this show and then my other show the following week, like every other week type thing, and maybe do them the same week depending on guests and stuff. But I just started did a rebrand of my other live stream called the Revenge of the Sixth, which is my other live stream where basically I do a topic. So like the first one we did was just all about pre-orders, and then it's basically just a kind of like a free-flowing chat-driven, panel-driven show. So we have one topic and then we just go off of that, pull stuff in from chat. The last one was like almost a 3-hour show and it was a lot of fun.
Oh wow, it was a
Yeah,
marathon.
it was a marathon. We ended up kept going. There was like a good amount of people in there. We just like you just ride the wave. You know what I want, you know what I mean? And that's what I want that stream to be, is just like a fun, not really structured live stream where you have just one talk, like a talking point, a topic, and then however long it goes for that. It's just something, again, something I don't have to spend a ton of time prepping for, but it's also just really fun. Fun show to do. So Marco, if you ever want to come on that show, you're more than welcome, because I'll probably
Say
be
the
looking for
word.
guests. Yeah, I'm rebranding that to Revenge of the Six, which is a pretty cool title, I think.
Love it.
Yes, so that will be going on. I'll probably be doing that next week. Also, I have some figures coming in, so I actually just got the Advanced Suit 2.0 Peter Parker today. I'm gonna
Oh,
likely
this was
be
the limited edition
yeah, I just
one.
got it from
Nice.
yeah. So I actually, it's crazy because I missed out on the pre-order from Sideshow. I actually didn't really want the figures at that time when they did like the limited window. And then I reached out to like somebody I have bought figures from in the past, like an overseas seller. And like the day I reached out, I was like, "Hey, do you have any like leads on a like an advanced suit Peter Parker?" And he said, "I just had a guy cancel his pre-order." So like
Oh,
that day,
nice.
yeah. So I ended up getting that spot, but I just got it today. So I'll probably do a live. I like to do live unboxings. That's kind of something I've started doing as well, that I did with Miles, like the like upgraded suit Miles, the same one, like the limited edition, or like the same Spider-Man 2 line. So I'm gonna
I'm
do the
very jealous
Peter.
that you have both of those.
Yeah, it's
Those
really
are
cool.
ones that I
Yeah,
was the same
yeah,
same as you were. I was like, I have no interest, and after playing
yeah.
the game, I
I
desperately
started
want them
playing the
both.
game and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then what really drove me over was when they revealed Venom. That's when I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna video games. Spider-Man 2 is an awesome game. They just announced Venom. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go in on this line, I think. So I was fortunate enough to be able to get both of those from overseas. And yeah, I'll probably do a review on that. And then I'm also waiting for actually Iron Man D100 Iron Man to come in as well. That I got for a pretty good price overseas as well, but it's like stuck in customs. I think right now it's going on 2
Oh no.
weeks. I'm just waiting. It said that it said airline departure, and then it didn't update for like 5 days after that. Like
Oh
landed. I'm
gosh.
like, did you just fly around for 5 days and on a plane? Like, what's going on? So
they're probably playing with it over there at customs. So
yeah,
they'll pack it
they
back up
probably
and
just
send
took
it
it
to you.
out. Yep, exactly. No more figures in 2023. We're done. We're done after these ones. But yeah. Anyways, that was kind of long-winded, but thank you guys so much in chat as always. You guys were great tonight. Really appreciate all your questions. It's it's always fun not only talking to the guests of the show, but also interacting with chat. You guys kind of keep the show alive and running as well. So appreciate that. With that being said, we will catch you guys on the next video or live stream. See you later. Have a great week.